The best self-care is prayer. Prayer itself is actually the best mode of self-care you'll ever come across, and in this video, I'm going to explain why. There are three big reasons why I believe that the best thing you can do for yourself, for your nafs, for your ego, and also for your whole personality is prayer. The first one is Allah and His Messenger guarantee it to us, right? If you read the Quran, if you read some of the prophetic sayings, you'll know that it's constantly encouraging us to pray. But why? Is it for God's benefit? Absolutely not. It doesn't affect God in any way if we pray or not. It's for us. It's literally a gift for us. It's a blessing, a gift from God for us. Now, the word in Arabic, fard, so we know that prayer is fard in Arabic. And this word is often translated into English as obligatory. That already brings you down, right? Or compulsory. Oh God, great, another thing I've got to do. If you're busy and you do lots of things with your life and you try and take care of lots of people, you have lots of responsibilities, the last thing you need or want is another obligation or another compulsory thing or another necessary thing. I think there's a much more accurate English translation of the word fard that's much more useful and inspiring and is more likely to encourage you to actually do it. And it's still a pretty darned accurate translation. And that is, the way I understand the word fard is something that is fard is essential. It's essential. Think of this, Allah and His Messenger are giving you, there's lots of things you could do for your spiritual growth and your spiritual development, but Allah is saying the most essential out of everything is to pray 5 times a day on an hourly or regular basis, to fast in Ramadan once a year, to go on Hajj once in your lifetime, to purify your wealth with charity, and to say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. These are the essentials, right? Now, with prayer, if you think of prayer as being an absolutely essential part of your spiritual development and an essential part of your self-care routine, already it shifts your relationship to prayer. And that reframe oftentimes is enough to make it a more central and important part of your life. Now, the second reason that I believe prayer is the best self-care, aside from the fact that Allah tells us it's essential, is when you do it properly, when you really fulfill what the prayer is about, which means not just doing it externally, but also doing it internally in your mind and your heart, what happens is several times a day, 5 times a day, you're filling yourself with presence and mindfulness, with love, with gratitude. You're literally increasing your consciousness. You're literally getting high with every prayer. If you're doing the prayer and you don't feel like you're getting high as the day goes on, you don't feel like it's completely recharging you, then something's going wrong and it's a fixable problem, but it's something worth addressing. Let's pay more attention to how it is that this self-care practice doesn't feel like it's improving your life in any way. That's something that can be addressed, and inshallah in future videos we will address it. But the first and foremost, I want you to think of it like this. Let's imagine that you did install self-care practices, and let's say you had yoga that you were going to do on a weekly basis, and you were going to go for a massage on a weekly basis, and you were going to go for, I don't know, a spa day once a month or something. It is possible that you would do those things, and on any given day, you might go for the yoga session, but it just wasn't a great session, right? You weren't really with it, your mind was all over the place, and you didn't really get that much out of it. You could go for a spa day, but you're actually still stressed about work while you're on the spa day, right? It's possible. It's also possible you could go for a massage, but that particular massage just wasn't that great. But here's the thing. If you installed those things as habits that you were going to do on a regular basis no matter what, then sooner or later, you would fix it. You'd be like, oh, well, that was a bad massage because the person who did it wasn't that great, or because the location wasn't that great, or because for whatever reason, or because I needed to give them better instructions. You could figure out what was going wrong, and over time, you could make it more and more likely that the spa day was awesome, and that the massage was awesome, and that the yoga session was awesome. And over time, it would be more and more likely that you would have a great experience, and less likely that it would be an off experience. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you is the essential self-care practice of prayer is exactly the same. Before you can really reap the immense benefits of getting high on love and gratitude and peace and a feeling of connection with God and forgiveness and all these beautiful things through prayer, before you can really get high on prayer, you first need to at least have the ritual of prayer being part of your everyday life, and then you can start fixing things that aren't clicking right away. It's more important to begin by installing the habit, and then along the way you can fix why it is that you're not feeling super gratitude or presence or mindfulness or just awesome through the prayers. In the next daily spiritual download, and in the next few in fact, I'm going to give you lots of super simple tips that make it all but inevitable that you not only begin and enjoy praying 5 times a day, but it actually becomes your favorite part of the day. And some of these tips are super simple, but they just may never have occurred to you. But if you actually want to pray 5 times a day, you're going to love the upcoming series, because ultimately prayer is the best possible self-care. And these simple tips I'm going to give you are going to help you install the prayer habit and then make the most of it every time. Until next time, if you want to deepen your connection with Allah, watch the Switch Masterclass. That's a huge first step, because that will, in essence, transform what's happening internally during the prayer. And if you want to get yourself to pray on time every time, you're going to love the upcoming series. Until next time, may the peace, love, and blessings of Allah be with you always.